Hey there guys, how's it going? This is rexfurry here, and welcome back to another tutorial, which really isn't going to be too much of a tutorial because of the fact that there is so much to just freaking cover, and it's so repetitive, and there's just, let me give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. Alarm 0 in just one single object, there is all of this D&D to cover, drag and drop, and if you're wondering, Rex, why don't you just convert it over to code? I tried that, and to tell you the truth, I'm a bit tired right now, so I probably, did something wrong in the code or whatever, and just didn't see it. But there's just so much of this D&D. It's so repetitive too. It's so hard to keep track of that I just gave up after like 3 hours of just trying to get it to work. So I just ended up in the end just keeping all this D&D, and this is really the only hard part. All the alarms, everything else, pretty simple. We just have some really simple stuff going on here. So it's just the alarm 0 events, and so what I'm going to go, what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm still a bit tired if you guys can't tell. Is go ahead and I already saved this example. I already, made everything, got everything set up, and I already saved it as an example, and I'm going to go and upload it to my website, and I'm just going to go ahead and link it to this tutorial. Oh, this is just so insane. I mean, it works perfectly. It works fine, just how you think it would, but, yeah. So anyway, I just realized I didn't tell you guys what this tutorial is going to be about anyway. It's basically Minecraft slash Terraria water. Let me go and just run the game really quick, bring this up. Alright, so this is what the end result should look like, or will look like, because I'm going to give you guys the example. And let me just quickly go over how this works, and then I'll go and let you guys free and just, download the example and whatnot. And excuse me, and yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. So basically, how this thing works is in our create event, we're setting all the kind of the basic stuff that needs to this thing needs to function. So we have an alarm 0 event at 10 steps. So once 10 steps are up, alarm 0 will activate, and you guys already saw what's all in alarm 0 that's going to take place. Geez, way too much, but nonetheless, actually, it's a pretty good amount, I guess, for this sort of thing. But whatever. So next next up here we have a move underscore snap 32 comma 32. This is basically setting our grid snap for objects here. So to make sure that these objects stay in a 32 by 32 grid, similar to your Minecraft. Again, Terraria stuff. Although Terraria is more like a 16 by 16 or whatnot. So anyway, basically it just stays in a certain place, kind of on a gridded basis. So gridded? I don't even know if that's a word. Anyway, image underscore alpha equals 0.5. This is basically setting your transparency of the object. So how see-through is this water going to be? And 0.5 is just kind of in the middle there, just right. But if you want to make it less transparent, so I guess more not see-through, you could just heighten the number. Or raise the number. So 0.7 would be you can't really see too much through. It's kind of like almost foggy, I guess. And then if you wanted to make it more transparent, so more see-through, you just make the number smaller. So 0.1 would be actually extremely small, or excuse me, transparent, but whatever, personal preference. I just like to keep it at 0.5 because that's kind of what I like. Now we're going to go ahead and I guess we'll skip over the alarm 0 just for the time being and just go to the easier ones for now. And all these objects too are pretty much the same thing. So the only thing that's really different is the alarm 0, but I'll go over that in a minute. Okay, so the collision with the water parent, basically all this is doing is destroying the object here, and I guess I can't really explain that as well, or at least I can't really find a good way to explain it, except that basically all it's doing is just kind of sorting out how the water is flowing and stuff, and that's the most accurate description I can give. Now, outside of room, that's pretty self-explanatory. If the water is outside of your room, then it gets destroyed, so your game doesn't have lag by a whole bunch of pile-up of various objects and stuff like that. So it's kind of how that goes. And finally, the alarm 0. Now, let's go and go over to the massive one here, alarm 0, on our obj underscore water underscore, wait, that's half. Full. There we go. Alright, so in this, basically how this works is when it starts off, when it collides with your little collision block here, which is nothing special, all it is just an object that's visible. It's not even solid, so, it could be any object at all. But when it collides with it, and then when it collides with the water parent, which you also want to make sure to apply to every single one of your waters. Here you see water parent and stuff, just so whenever water collides with anything that has a water parent in it, which is going to be all your waters, it's going to know to create, water full or whatnot. And basically, all of this is just kind of leading up to how this whole system flows. And so it's kind of like a system that goes like, if this is colliding with this, then it's gonna make one of these, and if it's colliding with this, it's gonna make one of these, and blah 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 blah. And it will know by which one it's colliding with, which object it needs to create. So basically, colliding with the collisions and each one of these waters and stuff, it will make those different kind of functions to kind of seem like when it's falling longer, in different positions, it will kind of decrease the water amount. So anyway, that might seem a bit confusing, but trust me, I mean, once you guys get into this stuff and kind of look through all these different actions and everything, it should be really easy to get. This is a really simple example I made, so the only problem is all this freaking D&D, which I actually got from another example that I found like a couple years ago, but I kind of modified it so it's easier to understand. But anyway, the last thing I just go ahead and go over is the sprites here and how these work. So all of these are 32 by 32 sprites, and you want to make sure to keep them that way. However, you can change how high or whatnot, or the colors, of the sprites themselves and stuff like that. I just went ahead and made this half the size of my first one, and then this one half the size of the last one stuff. So it kind of appears every single time it's going half less of the water amount. But you guys can just go ahead and take off whatever you want. If you want this to be smaller, you just take that off, and there you go. You can change the color and do whatever you want to it. Alright, and finally, just the SBR underscore collision, just because I want to. You don't really need to do anything special for this. It's just a 32 by 32 block. But once you get the hang of this thing, kind of just understand how it all works. I believe you could change this to whatever the heck you want. The dimensions, like a 16 by 16, and just kind of experiment around with it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And go ahead and download the example, like I said. I'm just not going to go ahead and go over all of this different stuff. And I tried before as well. It's so overwhelming. So that's pretty much it. Enjoy it. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So thank you thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, rate, subscribe. Sorry I'm so tired in this video. There's been so much things that I've been up to and stuff. And as always, guys, this has been rexfurry, and I'll see you all next video.